The NBA's been on fire ever since Isiah Thomas dropped that bombshell statement. Nobody ever dared to spill this kind of truth about Michael Jordan before, but I will. Everyone knows that if there's one person MJ will never forgive, it's Isiah Thomas. There's no convincing me otherwise. It's crystal clear that the tension between those two runs way deeper than basketball beef. But get ready, because I'm about to break down everything. The real story, the hidden drama, and the behind-the-scenes dirt that will seriously shock you. Isiah Thomas's jealousy of MJ didn't just spark some small argument, it set off a chain of events that created one of the wildest rivalries in NBA history. And yeah, we're talking about that unforgettable walk-off during the Eastern Conference Finals that fans still argue about today. Oh, and wait till you hear about the leaked audio, the one that supposedly got Isiah Thomas blacklisted from the Dream Team. That tape didn't just change careers, it flipped the entire narrative upside down. See, this whole feud between Isiah and Jordan, it started long before the cameras caught on. Picture this, you're a superstar in Detroit, the city is your turf, you've shed blood, sweat, and tears for respect, and everyone knows your name. That was Isiah Thomas in the mid-'80s, ruling his court like a king who wasn't about to bow down to anyone, not even Michael Jordan. Detroit was Isiah Thomas's kingdom, his empire, his pride. But here's the twist. Out of nowhere came this new kid, Michael Jordan, a rookie straight out of North Carolina, lighting up the league with a kind of swagger, skill, and hype the NBA had never seen before. And that's when jealousy started creeping in, quiet but deadly. Isiah Thomas had built his whole name off grit and toughness. He wasn't about the flashy endorsements or high-priced sneakers. He was the general on the hardwood, the warrior who made the Pistons feared across the league. When Detroit hit the court, you knew it was going to be a battle. No mercy given, no easy points allowed. But that toughness, it was something local. It lived in the heart of Detroit's fans, echoed in the city's bars, and rumbled through the old gym floors. It didn't reach the glossy magazine covers, it didn't sell shoes around the world, and it definitely didn't make him a global superstar. That's exactly where Michael Jordan stepped in and took over the scene like a storm. While Thomas was holding down his city, MJ was building an empire. Jordan's rise with the Chicago Bulls turned him from a player into a brand. Suddenly, the NBA didn't just want ballers, they wanted faces that could sell out arenas and light up TV screens. Jordan had the style, the charm, the moves, and before anyone knew it, the throne Isiah once ruled wasn't his anymore. The spotlight had shifted, and all eyes were on Jordan. For Isiah Thomas, that had to cut deep, real deep. This wasn't just about losing games to a better player, it was about losing his shine, his relevance, and the spotlight that once followed him everywhere. He wanted to be the league's next golden superstar after Larry Bird, the one fans adored and media couldn't get enough of. But then along came Michael Jordan, changing everything and giving the world a brand new image of what a true global NBA icon looked like. Isiah had earned respect through sweat, toughness, and pure hustle, but suddenly respect alone wasn't enough. The game had evolved, and now it was about image, fame, and worldwide appeal. Being great on the court didn't cut it anymore. You needed a brand. And let's be real, nobody in NBA history built a brand like MJ. The man was everywhere, commercials, shoes, posters, you name it. And just when Thomas thought things couldn't get worse, he made a move that would haunt his career. During Jordan's first All-Star game in 1985, a massive event with all eyes watching, rumors started swirling that Isiah had pulled some shady strings behind the scenes. Word is, he convinced a few of the league's top dogs to quote-unquote freeze out the rookie, keeping the ball away from Jordan on purpose. Basically, they tried to make MJ invisible on his own debut stage. Of course, Isiah denied being the mastermind. He laughed off the story, called it ludicrous, and said he was too far down the hierarchy to organize something like that with giants such as Bird, Dr. J, and Moses Malone. But here's where it gets wild. NBA journalist Peter Vesey once revealed that Isiah did admit to sparking the rumor himself. He confessed it all started when Isiah's own agent, Dr. Charles Tucker, told him at halftime that Isiah and the others were freezing Jordan out. Isiah can deny it all he wants, but when your own agent admits it happened, that's not just gossip, that's receipts. From that moment on, things got real for Michael Jordan. It wasn't just rookie hazing anymore, it turned personal. That so-called freeze-out hit him deep, and Michael Jordan never forgot it. But here's the real question. Why take out your frustration with the league on a rookie who had nothing to do with it? Jordan was just stepping into the game, bringing excitement and talent, and suddenly he's catching heat from one of the league's biggest stars? That's wild. Isiah had always been that guy, the tough leader, the scrappy fighter, the one everyone respected on the court. But by the mid-80s, toughness alone wasn't enough anymore. The NBA was shifting gears fast, turning into something bigger than the game itself. Under Commissioner David Stern, basketball wasn't just a sport, it was becoming a global brand. And who better to represent that new era than Michael Jordan? He wasn't just dribbling a ball, he was redefining the business of basketball. Sneakers, commercials, posters, highlight reels. MJ was everywhere. He didn't just play the game, he sold it to the world and everyone was buying in. Jordan's influence ran so deep that when he first retired in 1993, even Commissioner David Stern couldn't hide what Jordan had done for the league. In one interview, Stern said it best. Good, thanks Dan. David, obviously you said it was a happy day for you today, but tell me why you thought it was a happy day for me. I said it was a great day for Michael because he's done extraordinary things for our game. Even the league's top man admitted it. Jordan didn't just play basketball, he transformed it. Imagine thinking the crown was already yours, only to watch the whole world turn around and hand it to someone else. That's exactly what happened to Isiah Thomas. The league decided that a new king had arrived, and that king wasn't him. It was a young rookie with something you can't fake or copy, pure star power. And here's the part that really stung. Isiah was born and raised in Chicago, yet he played for Detroit. So when Michael Jordan showed up in his hometown and started running the city, stealing hearts, stealing headlines, and turning every game into a global event, it hit Isiah hard. This wasn't just Detroit losing attention, it was Isiah's own city choosing MJ over him. And then came that unforgettable moment. Jordan's friend once said, "He still wanna be Mike. Mike do not wanna be your friend. Isiah, I'm telling you for the 5th time, he do not wanna be your friend. You know, stay on ESPN, keep talking on TNT. Oh, Mike should, you know, now you're trying to say everybody better than Mike. It's okay, you not better than Mike." Those words cut deep and echoed the truth. MJ had moved on and Isiah was stuck trying to hold on to something that was gone. Beneath all that Piston toughness and that bad boy image, there was something heavier, fear. The fear of fading away, of being forgotten, of watching someone else take your place in history. That kind of fear eats at you and it turns into something even darker, jealousy. That slow, burning envy that doesn't die down no matter how many games you win. And that jealousy didn't just sit quietly in the background, it exploded on the court. It became the fuel behind the Pistons' brutal, intimidating style of play, defining an entire era of basketball, where Isiah's fear of being overshadowed clashed head-on with Jordan's unstoppable rise. That's when things turned ruthless. The Detroit Pistons didn't just want to guard Michael Jordan anymore, they wanted to destroy his rhythm, his confidence, and his dominance. They became obsessed, studying his every move, crafting an entire playbook designed just to stop one man. It all started after that unforgettable night in April 1988 when Jordan dropped a staggering 59 points on the Pistons. That performance didn't just sting, it shook them. Inside the locker room, something snapped. This wasn't just about playing better defense anymore, it was war. They weren't saying we gotta guard him tighter, they were saying we have to break him. That's when the infamous Jordan rules were born. And make no mistake, this wasn't some minor strategy tweak, it was a full-blown battle plan. The Pistons openly admitted it too. You guys had what you called the Jordan rules, the Jordan. We came up with that saying with Jordan because this is what Chuck was saying. I could go to the basket, put his ass on the ground, and I put his ass once up there. You know, we gotta hit him. You gotta hit him mean every time he went to the basket, we hit him. From that moment on, whenever Jordan touched the ball, he wasn't just playing basketball, he was stepping into a battlefield. The Pistons turned every drive, every layup, every jump shot into a war zone. They were physical, merciless, and united in one mission: make Jordan feel their presence every single time he came near the rim. Detroit's blueprint was cold, calculated, and brutal, and as John Salley later revealed, it all came down to just 3 chilling words: push him left. That was the code, the secret behind the infamous Jordan rules. When players were asked about it, they kept it short and mysterious. You guys have something called the Jordan rule. Talk to us about that. Push him left. That's your Jordan rule right there. That's all I'm allowed to give away. It's still top secret. That's how tight they kept the details, like it was some underground playbook. Every time Michael Jordan touched the ball, whether it was on the wing, at the top of the key, or near the post, the Pistons had one goal: shut him down. They'd double-team him instantly, trap him in corners, and steer him into heavy traffic. The plan was ruthless: cut off his angles, clog the lane, and completely wreck his rhythm. And if MJ dared to drive to the basket, he knew what was waiting for him. Guys like Bill Laimbeer and Dennis Rodman standing ready to hit him hard, sometimes with fouls so brutal they made fans gasp. To the Pistons, Jordan wasn't just an opponent, he was a threat to everything they'd built. Their mantra was simple but vicious: no easy touches, no flow, no comfort. The Bad Boys of Detroit, led by Isiah Thomas, didn't just want to win, they wanted to break Jordan down mentally and physically until he cracked. But here's what they didn't count on: MJ's heart was built different. While the Pistons and Isiah were busy scheming and swinging, MJ just kept coming back, game after game, bruised arms, aching body, ego battered but never broken. He didn't back off, he leveled up. Every hit only made him hungrier, and every foul just fueled his fire. Jordan took every hit, every foul, every double team, and turned it into fuel. He didn't cry about it, he evolved. The more the Pistons tried to beat him down, the stronger he came back. He trained harder, hit the weights, built serious muscle, and sharpened his game until those so-called Jordan rules stopped working altogether. He wasn't just playing basketball anymore, he was rewriting the entire script. By the time 1991 rolled around, the Chicago Bulls had transformed into a machine. They weren't just a team built around Jordan, they were a championship factory, unstoppable and locked in. When they faced off against the Detroit Pistons in the Eastern Conference Finals, it wasn't just another playoff series, it was personal payback. And this time, Jordan and the Bulls didn't just beat Detroit, they swept them clean off the court. That sweep cleared the road straight to the NBA Finals, where the Bulls took down the Los Angeles Lakers 4-1, claiming their very first championship. The torch had officially been passed, and Jordan was holding it high. But let's rewind for a second, because during that final game against the Pistons, something unforgettable happened. Chicago was up 115-94 with just 7.9 seconds left, and Isiah Thomas had a choice: show respect to the new kings of the East or walk away. And what did he do? He walked off the court. No handshakes, no congratulations, just cold silence and bruised pride. The announcer said it perfectly. A great run has come to a close with 4.38 remaining in this fourth quarter. Now Isiah runs out the center court. No handshakes. It was all ego and bitterness on full display. Later, people tried to say maybe he just needed time to reflect or that he regretted it, but let's be real, that walk-off became one of the most infamous moments in NBA history. A few Pistons, like Joe Dumars and John Salley, stayed behind to try and show some class after that crushing loss, but Isiah Thomas, his refusal to do the same stole all the attention. That single walk-off said it all. This wasn't just a rivalry anymore, it was personal. In Isiah's mind, the bitterness made sense. He felt disrespected, especially since reports said Jordan had called Detroit undeserving champions before the game. But let's keep it real. After everything the Pistons did to Jordan with those brutal Jordan rules, MJ had every right to speak his mind. The man got battered, bruised, and hacked for years, so yeah, he earned that right to talk. The fallout was ugly. The media tore into Detroit, calling their walk-off disgraceful. Even Bulls players didn't hold back. Horace Grant and Scottie Pippen slammed it as childish. MJ himself stayed cool, brushing it off like it was nothing, but deep down, that moment added to his fire. Every slight, every foul, every cheap shot only made him tougher, sharper, and more determined to take the throne he was always destined for. And that's exactly what Isiah Thomas couldn't stand. Think about it, he turned his whole team against one man, built an entire strategy to stop him, and yet Jordan still came out on top as the greatest basketball player of all time. That's gotta sting deep. And the wild part, Isiah never really hit it. Over the years, he's let it slip more than once just how much MJ got under his skin. No matter how much time passed, the tension between those two never faded. It became part of NBA legend, a rivalry built on pride, pain, and the unshakable truth that Jordan won where Isiah couldn't. Even years after the Pistons dynasty had fallen apart, Isiah Thomas still couldn't let go of Michael Jordan. It was like he was stuck in the past, talking about MJ as if they were still rivals on the playground, and Jordan had just outshined him in front of everyone. There's this clip that says it all. You've gotta see it. He literally says, "Everybody kissed his feet, but I refused to. That's why he hated me." Right there, he admitted the truth, the jealousy that fueled this entire feud. But here's the thing, nobody was kissing MJ's feet. People respected MJ because he earned it. He didn't talk his way to greatness, he dominated his way there. Every game, every matchup, every clutch shot, he destroyed anyone who tried to stand in his way. And that's exactly why Isiah could never bring himself to just admit it. MJ wasn't only better on the court, he owned everything off it too. The spotlight, the brand, the fame, the world. Isiah had grit and rings, but Jordan had legacy, superstardom, and immortality. Every stat, every finals, every highlight screams one thing: Michael Jordan stands alone. Decades later, you can still feel the bitterness lingering, still see the frustration behind Isiah's interviews. But here's the real question: how do you compete with destiny? How do you challenge a man who was born to be the greatest? If you enjoyed this breakdown of one of basketball's most legendary rivalries, make sure to like, share, and drop a comment below. Let's hear your take. Was Isiah misunderstood, or was MJ truly untouchable?